Hello and welcome to Rando Tech Info. So today we're reviewing the ID206 smartwatch from Dorello. For the past few years, I have had two watches that I keep coming back to and have worn on the daily. My TicWatch Pro 3 and before that, my Huawei Watch 2. These are both full-fledged premium Wear OS devices, and at the time I bought them, they had a price tag to match. So whenever I've had to take my TicWatch off my wrist to review a quote-unquote budget smartwatch, it has always been an unpleasant or even downright painful experience until now. When the folks at Dorello reached out to me and asked me to review their new $90 smartwatch, I honestly almost said no. But I'm glad I didn't, because a smartwatch not only proves that a sub $100 smartwatch doesn't need to suck, it proves a sub $100 smartwatch can actually be good. Setting up the watch was very easy and straightforward. You will need to download the VeryFit app to your pocket computer via the Google Play or Apple App Store. FYI, when you're in your App Store looking for this app, you may also notice that there is a VeryFit Pro app. You don't want that one. You just want the non-Pro version. What will happen if you download the Pro version? I don't know, because I follow directions. Also, if you were paying attention, you probably noticed that I mentioned both major app stores, and that is because the watch is compatible with both Android and iOS devices. You will also need to have an Amazon account if you want to use Alexa, which is the assistant built into the watch. More on that later. The watch is light, comfortable, and looks good. The 1.69-inch screen is bright and easy to read. It does have a bit of a bezel, but it's not bad and certainly acceptable for a watch at this price point. In fact, at a glance, people will probably mistake it for an Apple Watch. The watch band is comfortable and basic looking, but if you want something more exotic, it can be replaced with any normal 23mm watch band, something you can't actually do on an Apple Watch. And speaking of exotic, if black is a little too basic for you, the watch also comes in blue and pink. Battery life on the watch is not class leading, but it's very good. I was able to get almost a full week of life out of just one charge. And that was with the screen brightness turned all the way up, lift to wake turned on, and the screen timeout turned up to 10 seconds. There's no always on display, but the lift to wake option worked pretty well, so I don't think most people will miss it. Due to the lack of Wear OS on the watch, exercise tracking options are a bit limited, but I do feel like the 14 options they offer you are better than the options found on some other wearables. For example, the TicWatch GTH I recently reviewed gave no option for workouts or strength training, which the Dorello watch has. Although I will say designating one of the options for cricket does seem a bit niche. I have nothing against cricket, by the way, so please don't hate on me. And speaking of hate, if you're not hating this video, then a sub to the channel would be fantastic.
Smooth, man.
Exercise tracking on the watch is solid and covers all the basics, including your steps and calories burned. Brief summary options can be viewed on the watch, while more detailed analysis can be viewed with the VeryFit app. The watch covers all of your biometric measurement basics as well. Heart rate, stress, and oxygen saturation levels are all accounted for. It also seemed to do a pretty good job monitoring my sleep, something even more expensive wearables sometimes struggle with. Now, a big issue for me with a lot of wearables is notifications. For me, notifications are the biggest single reason why I choose to wear a smartwatch as opposed to a traditional dumb watch. A lot of cheaper wearables really struggle with notifications, but I found notifications on the Dorello watch to be pretty reliable. Almost every text message I received on my phone came through on the watch. I say almost because exactly 2 text messages out of the 70 I received while reviewing the watch didn't come through on the watch. However, that's about the same percentage as on my TicWatch Pro 3, so I'm gonna give it a pass on this one. You can't respond to text messages with this watch, which is a bit of a bummer, but certainly expected at this price point. There's no speaker on this watch, so all notifications are vibrate only, but the haptics are good, and there is a mic, which is how you use Alexa. Now, I'm a Google person. I use Google Calendar, Gmail, and so on and so forth. So for me personally, Alexa was not as useful as Google Assistant. That said, having Alexa was certainly better than nothing. I could still use it to set reminders, timers, and alarms, and I think Alexa's jokes might even be worse than the Google Assistants, which is actually pretty amazing. Tell me a joke.
That's kind of funny.
Also, apparently, if you have any Amazon smart home devices, you can use Alexa on the watch to manage those. However, I was not able to test this myself due to my lack of Amazon smart home devices. Other miscellaneous features of the watch include a Find My Phone feature, which makes your phone ring when within Bluetooth range, breath training, a weather tile, music controls that you can access through both standalone app and through the exercise app. There are a decent variety of watch faces to choose from, and the watch is 5 ATM water resistance rated, which means you should be able to swim with the thing, which is fortunate since swimming is one of the included exercise options. Now, this is the part of the review where I'm supposed to talk about what I didn't like about the watch or what could have been better, but honestly, considering the watch's price point, I really only have a couple of things to mention. The first is some of the watch faces only show distance measurements in kilometers and not miles, even though I chose imperial units in the settings. As best I could tell, this is an issue that only affected a couple of the watch faces, so it's really not a huge deal. The other issue I had was with connectivity. Sometimes the watch would lose connectivity with my phone. However, it was weird because I would still normally get notifications, I just couldn't access Alexa or the weather tile. Now, just opening the VeryFit app on my phone always fixed the problem, so it's not really a deal breaker, but it was still a little bit annoying and hopefully something that gets fixed in a future update. So what are my final thoughts about the Dorello ID206 smartwatch? As I stated in the beginning of this review, this is a really nice watch for the money. No, it doesn't have all the features of a full-fledged Wear OS or Apple Watch, but you'll get better battery life and it's definitely more affordable. And it still covers most of the basics, including having an onboard assistant that most other non-Wear OS or Apple devices don't have. It is without question the best sub $100 wearable I have ever used, and I think if you decide to drop the $90 to pick one of these up, you're going to be very happy with your purchase. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.